Here we see the right tricuspid valve. It has three cusps. It's attached to the right ventricle by the chordae tendineae. It is between the right atrium and right ventricle. Here we see the pulmonary valve. It is between the right ventricle and the pulmonary arteries or pulmonary trunk that lead to the lungs. Remember, arteries away, carrying blood away from the heart. Here we see the left atrioventricular valve, also called the mitral valve. It is a bicuspid valve, two cusps, as you see, again anchored to the ventricle by the chordae tendineae. And although it's not visible, deep inside the ventricle chamber superior here, we're going to see the aortic valve. It is between the left ventricle and the aorta, which is going to carry blood to the body. And the aortic valve, when it opens, it covers the openings to the coronary arteries. And then when it closes, there's a backrush of blood due to a change in pressure, and then that supplies oxygenated blood to the heart itself. Right tricuspid valve between the right atrium and right ventricle. Right pulmonary valve between the right ventricle and the pulmonary trunk. And that is what this is sharing with you here. And again, the tendinous cords or chordae tendineae attach the valve cusps to the ventricle, specifically papillary muscles. Left atrioventricular valve. It's a bicuspid valve, also called the mitral valve, and it has the tendinous cords, chordae tendineae, which attach the valve cusps to the ventricle papillary muscles. And that's what this is sharing here between the left atrium and left ventricle, and the aortic valve deep in here, which is between the left ventricle and the aorta. And remember, when the valve opens, it covers the openings to the coronary arteries, which supplied oxygenated blood to the heart. And then when it closes, there's a backflow of blood, which then supplies that oxygenated blood to the heart itself. So the heart receives oxygenated blood when the aortic valve is closed, or closing and then closed. Review. Right tricuspid valve between the right atrium and right ventricle. Pulmonary valve between the right ventricle and pulmonary trunk, which is going to branch into pulmonary arteries, carrying deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Left bicuspid valve, mitral valve, between the left atrium and left ventricle. And you have the chordae tendineae attached to papillary muscles anchored to the ventricle. And then you have the aortic valve, not pictured here, between the left ventricle and the aorta, which is going to carry oxygenated blood to the body. And again, when the aortic valve closes, there's the backflow of blood to supply oxygenated blood to the heart itself. Thank you for joining me today.